Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will start the class. So, first module is over. So, any problem in that? Have you revised all the topics from the first module? Have you revised? I had told you that I'll take a surprise test for the first module, but it's okay already. First internal is nearing. So, just you study that. If you have any problem in that, just contact me. Now, we will start the second module. Okay. If you have any problem related to first module, you just ask me. And whoever is not attending regularly the class, I will remove them from the Google Classroom link. I'll not share them any notes and all. And who are attending regularly, they are not supposed to send them any kind of notes. So this is strict warning. You all have to attend, and the timing which you attend is also recorded. So better if you attend the full class. Don't come only for the attendance and all. Okay, otherwise you will be in trouble. So let's start the second module, that is multiple random variable. The first module we studied was the single random variable. So single random variable, that means the name itself tells only one random variable we used to use in that module. With respect to one random variable, we used to study all the aspects. Now it is the extension of the first module, that is multiple random variable. Here we consider more than one random variable. The name itself tell multiple. So here more than one random variable will be considered, and with respect to multiple random variables we study all the aspects. It is similar to module 1 but with more than one random variable. So this is, we can define, if more than one random variable is processed simultaneously, then it is called multiple random variable. If there are two variables, that is two random variables, then we call it as bivariant. Okay. So if two random variables are used, we call it as bivariant. And there might be three random variables, four random variables, or n number of random variables. So it is multiple random variable. So this is the definition for multiple random variable. And if we use two random variables, it is called as bivariant random variable. So in the example, we can consider two random variables, that is x and y. In one single random variable, we used to take x random variable. Here there are two random variables considered, so we take it as x and y random variables. So these are considered in pairs, that is x comma y. If we record n number of observations of these x and y random variable, n observations, if we consider, here we can write it as xi and yi, that is I will vary from 1 to n, because we consider n observations or n outcomes, or these will be represented as xi comma yi, where I will vary from 1 to n because we have considered n observations. So this is about the bivariant, when we consider two random variable x and y, and if we take n observations for these random variables, here xi and yi will vary from 1 to n. So this module will consider, or it is limited to only two random variables, or we can call it as bivariant. Here this module is limited only for two random variables. The name is multiple random variable, but here most of the topics are considering only two random variables, not more than two. And this concept only can be extended for any number of random variables. Okay, so just take down this definition, and two random variables we call it as bivariant. If you want, you can take this example, otherwise just write this definition and this two random variable. which is called as bivariant. And in this module, we study for two random variables or bivariant random variable. So just take down this. Here we consider more than one random variable simultaneously. So we call it as multiple random variable. In this module, we study two random variables, or it is also called as bivariant random variable. Here random variable considered are x and y. Here if we take n observations, this can vary from xi to yi, xi comma yi, where I will vary from 1 to n. Totally there will be n observations in this. This module will also be included for the first internal. First module full will be there, and whatever I teach before the first internal timetable, this module will also be included till that point. So next we will see the CDF of random variable. Here, what is the CDF of single random variable? You already know, that is fx of x is the CDF, and we define it as probability of x less than or equal to this x, this random variable. So this is the definition which you already know here with the single random variable. Similarly, this can be extended for the bivariate CDF. Here we have to consider two random variables, that is x comma y. So for that, here it is fxy. Here for single, we used to write only one random variable, that is x. Here there are two random variables considered. So we have to take two random variables, that is x and y. So this can be written as fxy of x comma y. Here the probability will be x less than or equal to x, and here the intersection will come and y less than or equal to y. This is the probability using the two random variables. So this is the definition for CDF, that is bivariate CDF. Here we represent it by fxy of x comma y. Here these are the two random variables, and this is the CDF for bivariate. And the probability we write for both the terms, that is x and y, and here we use the intersection of this x and y probability. Here it is the probability of x less than or equal to this x, which is one random variable, and this is the second random variable, that is y less than or equal to y, and we take the intersection of these both random variable. So this is the definition for CDF, bivariant CDF. You take down this. Here just it is for single random variable. We used to have one random variable, and here we have two random variable. So we have to consider x and y. Here instead of x we have x and y. Here also it is the same, and here the probability of both the random variable we have to consider and take the intersection. Here we have defined the CDF for bivariate or two random variable CDF. Same can be extended for any number of random variables. Here this is the definition for single random variable. Here this is for two random variable, and this can be extended for any number of random variables. That is multiple random variables we can use in this. So we can have a general formula for that. So for multiple random variable or multivariate, we have this. That is, here we have x1 to xn random variables. There are n number of random variables. Here it is x and y random variable, but here we have considered x1, x2 up to xn random variables. Here there are n number of random variables. This is the CDF notation for multivariate, that is fx1 to xn of x1 to xn, and here the probability is taken for all the xn values. Here it is for the x1, then intersection x2 till the intersection of xn. So this is the definition for multivariant CDF. The same equation is extended for n number of random variables. So take down this general formula also. Here if we have only two random variables, that is fx1, x2, then this will be reduced to similar formula where here we have x1 and here x2. Here we can have 3, 4 or 5 or more than that number of random variables. Take down all these three equations, but mainly we are focused on the bivariate CDF. This is general CDF wherein you can have any number of random variables, that is 1, 2 or more than 2. Where is the application for this if you ask? In communication engineering, these topics are very important. Where we use in this communication engineering is correlation between two signals at a time. At a time, if two signals are there, what is the correlation between those two signals? We can calculate using these topics only. So, because of that, we are studying the bivariant or multivariant random variable. Here, signals will be random, and if two signals are considered, we can use this bivariant concept for this to correlate the two signals. The correlation can be positive, negative, or there might be no correlation for these signals. Okay, you can take this application also. There are many other applications, but in communication engineering, mainly for the signals we use for the correlation purpose. So here it is the same definition. When two random variables are considered, we say that they are bivariant random variable, or you can also call it as joint random variable, because two random variable are there, so you can also call it as joint random variable or bivariate random variable. There are two random variables, so it is bivariate or joint random variable. So here we can see it diagrammatically. Here the bivariant, that is two random variables x comma y are used, and this is the same definition. This is the equation 1 I have taken here, that is fxy x comma y. Here it is the probability of x less than or equal to x intersection y less than or equal to y. So this is the graph wherein you see if this point is x and this point is y, here it is the x less than or equal to x value, which means it cover all the values less than this x. If this point is x in the x axis, if this is the x point, it will cover all the area wherein it includes minus infinity to plus infinity for the y. But here they have another thing, that is y less than or equal to y, wherein on this y axis, if this point is y, so this becomes this less than or equal to y, which means from y point till this minus infinity, it will consider all the points. If this is intersection, it considers only the common area. That is, here the limit is y and here the limit is x. And here it is from minus infinity, here also minus infinity. So this is the boundary wherein this value is less than y and here it is less than x. Other than that, all the area will be covered. So this is diagrammatically we can show it like this. The probability of x less than or equal to x intersection y less than or equal to y. Here if we consider only this x less than or equal to x, it takes all the value from minus infinity to plus infinity in the y axis also, and here till minus infinity. But here we have the limit y, which is here it is y. So this point becomes x comma y. Here for this it will be from y to minus infinity and here from x to minus infinity. So this is the area covered for this CDF. And if we take another small variation in this point, if we consider this point, that is x comma y, here in this, here this point is x comma y in this graph, and if we add some small value dx and y plus dy for this y value, this is the point. Here if we add some small value dx for this and dy for this is the area. But if we take the difference of this, only this part will be covered. That is, this full area is x comma y CDF, and if we add some part, that is dx and dy, then this only if we consider this dx and dy with this x and y, it covers the full area from this point till minus infinity and plus infinity. Here minus infinity for y and minus infinity for x. But if we take the difference, only this area will be extra here. So this is the difference between bivariant CDF evaluated at x comma y, this point, and x plus dx and y plus dy. So this is the area if we take the difference of these both random variable. So just take down this graph also. First one, we have this probability value wherein x is less than or equal to this x value and y is less than or equal to y value. Here this is the area covered and this is the x comma y point. From this point, it will cover all the area till minus infinity, both the sides. But here, when we add this point, that is, this will become x less than or equal to x plus dx intersection y less than or equal to y plus dy, which covers all the points from this point. From this point it will cover all the area from minus infinity here and here also minus infinity. But if we take the difference, this area will be eliminated. Here this area will be eliminated, only this area we have. So this is the other graph we have. So just take down this. Here this area we can just represent it as dp, which is nothing but fxy x plus dx comma y plus dy minus this fxy. It is always non-negative because the CDF is always increasing. It will be always non-negative, and this area we can represent it by dp, which is just the different subtraction or the difference between these two area, that is CDF of x comma y with these small differences, and here it is CDF of x comma y. Take down this also. It is the difference between bivariant CDF, this bivariant CDF at x comma y, and also x plus dy comma y plus dy. These two CDFs are having the difference. So this is the area we have. In single random variable, we had seen properties for CDF. So just tell me if x of infinity, what will be the value? You have already studied the properties of CDF. F x of infinity, that is CDF fx. Fx is capital Fx. So fx of infinity, what will be the value? Answer me. Fx of infinity, when x is equal to infinity. So fx of x, you can write it as fx of infinity. So fx of infinity, what is the value you get?
1, ma'am.
Yes, correct. So similarly, fx of minus infinity, when x is equal to minus infinity, what will be the value?
0, ma'am.
Yes, correct. So the CDF lies between what range? What is the range of the CDF, minimum and maximum value?
0 to 1.
Yes, correct. Okay. So similarly, here also we have the properties for joint CDF. So we will see that here there will be two random variables. So similar kind of properties we have here also. So here when x is equal to infinity, and also we have to consider the y term. When it is also infinity, we have 1. Fx, when it is infinity comma infinity, we have 1 as the value, because this is the maximum value, and the probability of x less than or equal to infinity comma y less than or equal to infinity, it will cover the full sample area. So the maximum value we have is 1, and there are no values less than minus infinity. So fx of fx comma y of minus infinity comma minus infinity will be 0. Here even if we consider both the random variables, this value will be same, that is the range of this CDF will be from 0 to 1 itself. So the maximum value which covers all the area is 1 when both x and y are equal to infinity, and here when x and y are equal to minus infinity we have 0. So this is one property, and the second one is its range is from 0 to 1. If we consider only one term as, or the one random variable as minus infinity here, here the event x less than or equal to minus infinity, and y is as it is, kept as it is. And here if we take x less than or equal to minus infinity, that means when x is less than or equal to minus infinity, there are no values. X less than minus infinity, there will be no values, which means it is not a possible event. It is an impossible event, which we represent it by phi. So if we consider this as the formula, wherein we will substitute x is equal to minus infinity here, and y is kept as it is, and x less than or equal to minus infinity, this is an impossible event which is represented by phi, and the intersection y less than or equal to minus y. So, what will be the common term in this? Because this is an impossible event, that is null or phi, and this is y less than or equal to y. The common term between these, we have no values, which means it is null. That is probability of this null, which is equal to 0. So when one of the random variables is equal to minus infinity, which means we have no this common terms between the both the random variables, that is x and y. So fx comma y, that is minus infinity comma y is equal to 0. So similarly, we can take y is equal to minus infinity and keep x as it is. If we do that in the similar way, here this phi will be for this term. Here this will become the this y value will become minus infinity, and here x is kept as it is, which means this side of this random variable becomes null value. We don't have any value less than minus infinity. This becomes null, and the intersection with null will become null only. So the probability of this phi will be 0. So here also we have x comma y, that is x comma minus infinity of this CDF is also equal to 0. So you just take down these four properties. Here first one we have when both x and y are equal to infinity, which covers the full sample space, so it is equal to 1. And if it is, if xy minus infinity and minus infinity, x and y are minus infinity, which means there are no values less than minus infinity, so the CDF value will be 0. This implies the CDF value will ranges from 0 to 1. If we consider any one random variable as minus infinity, which means that random variable probability will be null. It is an impossible event because there will be no values less than minus infinity, so that value will be null. So if we consider the intersection of null value with any other random variable, we get it as null itself because there will be no common terms or the no common values between those both. So the CDF value will become 0. Here we have taken x is equal to minus infinity, and here if we take other one, that is y is equal to minus infinity, then also we get the CDF value as 0 itself. We have considered x is equal to minus infinity one time and the other time as y is equal to minus infinity. Now we can consider x is equal to infinity and other property as y is equal to infinity. Here if both are equal to infinity, this value will be 1. If both are minus infinity, this will be 0. Here only one random variable is considered as minus infinity and other one is kept as it is. Similarly, here also y is considered as minus infinity and x is kept as it is. Now further, in the next property, we consider x is less than or equal to infinity and y is kept as it is. So when we consider that, when the event x less than or equal to infinity, and here this is certain event or the sample space S. Here this will have some value because x is less than or equal to infinity, which considers the values less than infinity, and definitely we will be having some values which is the sample event S is represented here, and it is valid for any value on y. Here this y is kept as it is. So here if we consider this probability, here x is equal to infinity and y is kept as it is. So here probability of x less than or equal to infinity intersection with y less than or equal to y. So here this event is considered as S, which means this covers the full area. If you see this graph, here on this y-axis any value it can take less than or equal to this x is equal to infinity, x less than or equal to infinity, it will take any value from this y-axis. So it is event which takes on any value from this y-axis. So which means it covers all the area of this x less than or equal to infinity. So this we represent it as S, and here this is the y is kept as it is, that is y less than or equal to infinity. Here this intersection is equal to this probability because this S value is valid for any value on y axis. So this is equivalent to a probability of y less than or equal to y. Here we have only single random variable, which means Here this equation will reduce to fx y, which is infinity comma y is equal to fy of y, that is the CDF of y random variable. If any one of the random variable is equal to infinity, it will be valid for the any value on the other random variable axis. That is, it is valid for any value on the xy plane. So here it becomes one single random variable, that is equal to fy of y here. So take down this, write down this property. Here we have considered x random variable to be less than or equal to infinity, and this is considered as the event yes, because it is valid for any y value on the xy plane. In the xy plane, it can take on any y value. On the y axis, it can take any value and it will be valid. So here the equation of this CDF becomes fxy infinity comma y. Here we can write this in terms of probability, that is probability of x less than or equal to infinity intersection y less than or equal to y. Here this event, this can be taken as S event. So intersection with the other random variable, that is y. So this S variable can take on any value depending upon what value you have on this. So this becomes equivalent to single random variable, that is y less than or equal to y probability. So this we can write it as the CDF of y, that is fy of y. So similarly we can take here y is equal to infinity. If we take here y is equal to infinity, this probability will become the event yes. So it will take any value on y axis. Sorry, here if we you take for the next one, when y is equal to infinity, here this value will become yes event and it will be valid for any x value on the xy plane. It can take any x value on the xy plane and this will be equal to this probability of x less than or equal to x, which means it will be equal to the CDF of x random variable. So if you have infinity for one random variable and the other random variable is equal to y here, so this becomes the CDF of this random variable. Here if you have y as infinity and x is kept as it is, this value will be equal to the random variable of this term, that is x random variable. The CDF becomes equivalent to this random variable x and here it is CDF of y random variable. So take down these two properties. If any one of the random variable is equal to minus infinity, then the CDF becomes 0. If any one of the random variable is equal to infinity, then it becomes the CDF of the remaining other one random variable. Here x is infinity, so it is the CDF of the random variable y. Here y is infinity, so it becomes the CDF of the random variable x. If both are infinity, you can write it as probability of x less than or equal to infinity intersection y less than or equal to infinity. And these events can be taken as S. Here intersection of these two will be S itself because both the events are same. So it will be probability of S, which means it covers the full area from minus infinity to plus infinity, which will be equal to 1. And CDF will always be non-decreasing in both the direction. This property you already know in the single random variable. The CDF is always non-decreasing. Here in both the directions x and y we have to add because there are two random variables. So these are the properties, you just note down. So fx comma y, when both x and y are infinity, what will be the value? Fxy, infinity of infinity. When both x and y random variable are is equal to infinity, what is the CDF value? Tell me. Answer me, what is the CDF when x and y both are infinity?
1 ma'am.
Okay. So when x and y both are is equal to minus infinity, what is the CDF value?
0.
Okay. So when any one of the random variable is equal to minus infinity, then what is the value? Either x is equal to
0.
minus infinity or y is equal to minus infinity, then what will be the CDF value?
0 ma'am.
Okay. So when x is equal to infinity and y is kept as it is, what will be the CDF value?
Fy of y.
Yes, correct. So if the other y is less than or equal to infinity, you have fx of x. So these are the properties for CDF. Next we can see the PDF, that is probability density function. Here also we take two random variables and you already know that is fx of x is equal to differentiation of CDF. Here also it is the same, but here differentiation with two random variables. So we have this derivative, that is dou square divided by dou x comma dou y. Here with respect to both the random variables we have to differentiate. So this is the equation for PDF. It is fx comma y. We have d dou square divided by dou x dou y fxy. This is the CDF equation or the notation for this bivariant, and this is the notation for this PDF. So note down this equation. This you already know, that is differentiation. This PDF is nothing but the differentiation of CDF. Here you can call it as bivariant PDF or joint PDF. So bivariant PDF is the derivative of the bivariant CDF. So this is the notation for PDF when two random variables are used. Here it is small f xy, and here it is the derivation with respect to both the x and y. And here this is the bivariant or the joint CDF. Take down this equation. Next we have to see the properties of joint PDF. The total area under the PDF, what will be the value? You have already seen that the total area under the PDF. The total area under the PDF, what will be the value? That is from minus infinity to infinity. We have also seen the proof for that. In the first module, we have seen the proof for that. The total area under the PDF curve, what will be the value?
1 ma'am.
Yes. So now we will see the properties for joint PDF. The bivariant PDF or the joint PDF is always non-negative. That means its value is always greater than or equal to 0. And here x will be less than or equal to infinity and y will be less than or equal to infinity. So this PDF is always greater than or equal to 0. And here if we take the inverse of this definition, if we take the inverse of this definition, this CDF can be written in terms of PDF as this. That is integration from minus infinity to x, and here it is integration from minus infinity to y, and this is the PDF. Here it is dx and dy. In the single random variable, we used to write fx of x is equal to integration minus infinity to x fx of x into dx. But here two random variables are there, so we have two times integration. Here one integration is for the x and other integration is for the y. Here it is from minus infinity to x and here it is from minus infinity to y, and this is the joint PDF. So here also the total area under the bivariant PDF is 1, which means here if x and y both are infinity, in this equation if x is equal to infinity and y is equal to infinity, this will cover the full area which will be equal to 1. This you already know, that is x and y when both are infinity, that is fxy, you have infinity comma infinity, here this will be equal to 1. Here in terms of PDF it covers the full area and it will be equal to 1. So just take down this. Take down these three properties. Is the screen visible? Screen is visible,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Okay. So just take down these three properties. Here first one, the bivariant or joint PDF is always non-negative. In the second one, this is CDF in terms of this PDF. Here we have two integrations, that is from minus infinity to x and minus infinity to y. And the third one is total volume under the bivariant PDF is 1. Here x and y both are infinity. These are all similar properties to the module 1, but here the one more random variable is included in all the equations. So one more property is here, if the bivariant PDF, if we want to evaluate wherein this x and y belongs to some region R, Here this is some region denoted by R, and if this region is very large and if we want to find the probability of these points only, then we can write it as this equation, that is here integration will be with respect to the whole region and this CDF value. Here if this xy random variables, if they belong to some large region, when compared to these points, if there is a large region which is R, here this is the same equation we have, that is double integration with respect to this R region, and this is the PDF value. And the other condition wherein this R is the small region, here in this large region if we want to find the probability of x and y which belongs to R, here this is the small region we want to find, that is here this is the second equation we have. That is probability of x comma y which belongs to dA. In this large area, here we have only this portion to find out. That is this x and y belong to this region which is dA. So here we have to integrate it from x to that small region. Here from x point till this small region, that is x plus dx, and we have to integrate in the y, that is y to y plus dy, and this will be the PDF, and this dx and dy will be this small area differentiation. When it is large area, we have the same equation, we integrate with respect to that region. If we have this R wherein we want to find only the small area in this large area, then we have to integrate from x to that small area, that is x plus dx, and y to this y plus dy, and this will be the PDF. Here x and y will be this dx and dy will be dA, which is the small region, and this will be nearly equal to fxy comma x comma y into dA itself. There is only small difference in this integration, so this will be nearly equal to the PDF value with this differentiation of dA itself. So just note down this, both the equations. You will have clear picture when you solve the numericals. So just note down these two equations. This is when R is large area, this equation. And this is the equation when you have the small area, and which will be nearly equal to this PDF value itself. Because you have to integrate a small region itself, that is from x to dx. This is the small difference we have, and here also we have the small variation, that is dy.